10 is this first demon caught on CCTV. This eerie photograph from 2008 reveals something inexplicable, and it's not a Photoshop trick either. It's a real head scratcher. Neil Sandback, a photographer, was just doing his job, snapping pictures for a couple planning their wedding in Hertfordshire. But when he examined his digital shots, he found a puzzling figure. In the corner of the building, there was a glowing, ghostly apparition of a younger human. What's unsettling is the level of detail. You can make out facial features which oddly resemble more of a skull than a human face. Even more chilling, the farm staff had witnessed a similar figure, a young man in white night clothes. Real or not, this one is a bone-chilling mystery. At number 9 is the man on CCTV. A car's dash cam captured something inexplicable. At around 2:30 in the morning, as the car cruised down a desolate highway, a man in blue shorts and a white t-shirt seemed to just appear out of thin air. The car then would go to pass right through him, and when the driver looked back, the mysterious figure had vanished into the night. It's like he just popped out of nowhere, materializing out of thin air from the ether itself. Was this a ghost? Skeptics argue it might be a shadowy illusion cast in front of the vehicle, but the truth remains as elusive as the apparition itself. If you're enjoying this video so far, please support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing, and ringing that notification bell. I personally would really appreciate it if you did. At number 8 is the haunted barbershop CCTV. This unsettling video from just a regular barbershop, things take a bizarre turn. You see, at first, it seems just like an ordinary day with someone getting a haircut and the staff going about their business. But then, something spine-tingling happens. The barber's cape mysteriously moves on its own. It's the kind of moment that makes you wonder, did I really see that? So they decided to review the CCTV footage, and that's when the hair-raising reality hits them. Watch closely as the blue cape shifts inexplicably. You might be asking, when will someone notice? And they actually do, and their reaction is exactly what you'd expect. Now, here comes the most hair-raising part. This clip goes on to become even more disturbing, giving you the kind of creeps that make you question the boundaries of the known and unknown, leaving you lingering with that fleeting sense of eerie uncertainty. At number 7 is the Manchester office security footage. Security guards casually scanning through their surveillance screen on the early hours of November 1st were just minding their business, but then the mundane turns into a nightmarish roller coaster ride. You see, at precisely 3 a.m., the entire office undergoes a freakish transformation. All the computers' power go on simultaneously, casting an eerie blue glow. Then chairs begin to take flight, seemingly possessed by an invisible force. Cabinets swing open on their own, and the office paraphernalia dance like marionettes gone wild. A scene right out of a horror movie. Now, what's so peculiar about 3 a.m.? Well, some folks call it the witching hour. The boundary between our world and the supernatural realm supposedly weakens to a thin veil, allowing mischievous spirits to cross over. Could it be that these relentless entities chose this unholy hour to unleash their chaos on this unsuspecting office? The footage certainly raises more questions than it answers. Check it out for yourself. At number 6 is the Croatia found footage. A truly spine-tingling video from Croatia that'll make you question the very fabric of reality as you know it. So when these two guys are just chilling, have a good time, they suddenly spot something bizarre in the distance. At first, they're just like, meh, what was that? And even laugh it off, but that's where it gets scary. This eerie figure starts getting closer, and the dudes, well, I mean, they're strangely pretty chill. I mean, seriously, if I saw that thing, I'd be sprinting for the hills. The way it moves is just unnatural and disturbing, but hold on to your horses because it gets worse. When they finally make a run for it, the thing starts chasing them, standing upright like something out of a horror movie. And here's the kicker. The description claims that these guys vanished after this incident. Seriously, you'll want to check out the video and decide for yourself. At number 5 is the Ventura Bar. It's the dead of the night and chairs start sliding around by themselves. The bar manager shared this video on social media and it gave everybody the heebie-jeebies. Fast forward a few weeks and we've got more chair shenanigans, but this time it's broad daylight and people are watching in disbelief. Did somebody take off a vengeful spirit? That's one theory, and it's pretty eerie. But here's the kicker. This bar isn't your average watering hole. No, it's got a wall filled with pictures of every customer and employee who's passed away. Could this possibly be a ghostly reunion spot? And here in the video at 1 minute and 40 seconds, we might just be getting closer to discovering who these relentless spirits are. At number 4 is the chair out of thin air. Here we've got a spooky video showing a chair materializing out of nowhere. And that's just way more terrifying than just objects moving around. Could this chair possibly be from another dimension, or is there something more sinister going on? Take a look at this clip focusing on the middle desk around 2 minutes in. Between 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 7 seconds, someone must have really ticked off a spirit or something. Now you might be thinking, maybe that chair was hiding in the shadows all along, but hold on, if somebody's under that desk, they would have pushed the chair against the wall, right? So how did it suddenly change direction and keep going? It's a head scratcher. Plus, this was filmed way after working hours, so unless somebody pulled an all-nighter under that desk just for this video, it seems like there's some spooky stuff going on in this office. At number 3 is the ghost alarm. Here's another intriguing clip coming from straight out of the ghost subreddit. This one was shared by user Raman8, and the title simply says, quote, "Something set off the security footage on one of our properties. Nothing was stolen. This is the footage." Take a gander at the video and you might just be up for some chills. Upon first glance, it seems like there's nothing out of the ordinary. But as you look closely, there's actually a shadowy figure lurking in the background, almost as if it's walking through thin air. Now, I know it might be easy to dismiss this as just a camera glitch or something, but that eerie outline of a person should be enough to send shivers down your spine. The Reddit user mentioned that the front door mysteriously opened, triggering the security footage. Could it be the work of a malevolent spirit? Some speculate that the ghost's energy triggered the alarm and opened the door, creating that ghostly appearance on the video. What's your take, internet detectives? Could this be genuine evidence of another worldly entity crossing into our realm? Or is this just a trick of the light and dust playing with our imagination? The user did some follow-up a year later, reporting no other strange incidents and no local spirit activity. It might be a one-time haunting, but it's still pretty unsettling. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts down below. At number 2, the water watches back. Back in 1924, aboard the SS Watertown, a bizarre and chilling incident occurred. You see, 2 crewmen, James Courtney and Michael Meehan, met a tragic end while cleaning the oil tanker's cargo tank. Gas fumes claimed their lives in an instant, and they were given a burial at sea near the Mexican coast. But the horror didn't end there. You see, the very next day, a crew member claimed to have seen their faces in the waves. A ghastly vision lasting a terrifying 10 seconds. This eerie spectacle repeated over several days. When the ship reached New Orleans, Captain Tracy, driven by the inexplicable events, decided to document it. He purchased a camera, and when those spectral faces emerged once again, he captured the hair-raising image you can now see here. Strangely, once this picture was photographed, all the sightings ceased. A spine-tingling tale of the unexplained phenomena that lingers in the annals of maritime history. And at number 1 is the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove. No, not the Madonna of pop, but a mysterious figure from the afterlife. The Ghost Research Society of America stumbled upon this eerie enigma back in 1991 at the forsaken Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. While Mary Huff took pictures with her infrared camera, everything seemed pretty mundane, but the real shocker came during the development process. In one frame, a woman perched on a tombstone clad in outdated attire, gazing into the abyss. Who was this woman? Well, nobody knows. Was this her own grave she pondered on, or a loved one's? The chilling part is that no one ever saw this woman, yet there she was, captured forever in that still frame, a specter from the beyond. Pretty spooky, right?
You walk into your kitchen one day to find it in total disarray. You decide to start filming, documenting it for evidence, when out of the corner of your eye, you spot a hellish face peeking out at you from the top of a doorway. These are demons that realized they were caught on camera. Take a look at this nightmarish monstrosity. Gotta say, guy in a costume or not, I do not like this, and I would not like running into it in the dark, in the day, inside, outside. Just no thank you all around. This video was posted to TikTok by Fastby Tess Horror with a description reading, "Muslim traveler finds himself face to face with a monstrous creature lurking in the shadows." We don't have a lot of context for this footage, just that the guy behind the camera supposedly came across this gargoyle-looking thing leering down at him from a ledge, and the man, completely shaken and petrified, started praying, and you can hear the terror in his voice as he does so. I find this thing deeply unsettling. This is what I kind of picture a genuine demonic creature looking like, although a lot of commenters say it looks like Frank from Donnie Darko, which, I mean, you know what, hey, that doesn't take anything away from it, still makes this creepy as hell. A man named Cody had started noticing odd things going on in his house one day, so he pulled out his phone and started recording. He'd noticed the light in the fridge and bathroom flickering. He also heard water running, so he peeked around the corner of the bathroom and, to his complete shock and confusion, found that the bathroom sink was on. And when a door behind him suddenly shut on its own, he really got freaked out and decided to step outside. He rang up his girlfriend, who urged him to just stay out of the house. Either there was an intruder or something else was going on, but none of it could be good. But Cody went back in to keep filming anyway, and suddenly found the place was a complete mess. Chairs had been knocked over, cupboards were open, so he immediately changed his mind and rightfully left the house again. And 2 hours later, he went back in, took a look in every single room to see if there's anyone there. He didn't find anything. That is, until he went back and looked at the footage that he'd taken later on. While he'd been filming his kitchen after having come back into the house that first time, he'd briefly panned across to his daughter's doorway. But while watching the footage back, he noticed something in the top right-hand corner, so he paused and zoomed in, revealing this. A ghostly-looking face peering out from above the doorway. This chilled him to the bone, and it's easy to see why. There are some very dubious ghost videos and pictures out there. Blurry, often hard to make out, but this looks legitimately terrifying. It's clearly a face, but it does not look human. Speaking of creepy as hell, be glad you don't live in the same building as this next guy. In this short clip, we see a man filming a staircase, lit up by the light from his phone. On the stairs is a man rushing up to the camera. Clearly his intentions aren't good. Either he's just trying to freak out our cameraman, or he's got something worse in mind. Luckily, the cameraman manages to shut the door before the crazed guy manages to get too close, but then, for whatever reason, he decides to open the door back up again to see if the dude's still there, I guess, and it doesn't look like it at first. You know, all we see is the dark, empty stairwell, but in true horror movie fashion, just as the camera peeks around the corner, we get this. It's immediately clear that there is something very wrong with this guy's eyes. Was this dude on something? Is the video just a hoax? Or was this man possessed by a demon or a djinn? Talk about a demon realizing they're being filmed. This thing is right up close, staring directly into this person's car. Take a look. Would you just sit there continuing to film this, or would you be tearing out of there? I know what camp I'm in. I'd be gone. Those are not the eyes of someone who needs directions or wants to be friendly in any way. Those are the eyes of someone whose mouth is about to stretch 3 times its normal size and devour your face in a single chomp. She's almost still as a statue, completely unblinking, which is really what makes the whole thing so downright chilling. But take note of her eyes, just ever so slightly shifting to the person behind the camera. It's such a slight little movement, but just sends shivers up your spine. The fact that she looks so dead-eyed, just staring off into the distance, and then slowly switches to look right down the barrel of the camera, right at us as the viewers. It's just hard not to avert your eyes a little bit. The surveillance camera ghoul. This footage was taken by a man named Mario Lara, who captured something deeply harrowing on camera in his store in Mexico. Take a look. Leading up to this video, Lara had begun to notice strange things going on in his store. He'd arrive in the morning to find things out of place, especially a piñata which would repeatedly be found on the floor, and one morning it was found in a totally different spot than he'd left it the previous night. he started to think someone was sneaking into the shop after closing and messing with things, so he set up a security camera. One night he gets an alert on his phone. The camera was detecting motion. The last thing he was expecting to see, though, was this ghoulish figure poking out from a pile of piñatas. It's hard to make that sentence sound ominous. I mean, piñatas, they're just so joyous. Well, unfortunately for Mario, though, things weren't joyous in the shop. Things just continued getting worse. His security camera continued picking up odd footage at night, like piñatas spinning around on their own. One of his power drills, which was sitting on the floor, seemingly turned on by itself one day, nearly hitting his foot. It seemed like whatever this entity was, it was not looking to be friendly, despite being surrounded by festive piñatas. This next video comes from a woman named Mandy Mary, who spotted something incredibly creepy on camera. Take a look at this. Did you catch that? It happens very fast, but as the lights flicker, you can spot what looks to be this shadowy figure peering out from the doorway, and it's definitely not there when the lights are on. Now, why did the lights flicker? Well, Mandy's son had flicked them himself. Mandy wrote in the description of the video, "This video is from my back house. My son was behind me when I recorded this. We were creeped out as we've seen a dark figure back there many times. So thought it would be a good idea to record there at night. We videotaped and he tried to spook me by flicking the light. The moment he turned off the light, you could see the outside light from the window. Within this outside light, you can see a dark shadow figure standing there. This wasn't us. Some of the people I've shown this to said, it's your son. I said, no way. He was right behind me, and that shadow figure was in the middle of the window, reflection, not the door we were at. So no way it was him. Every night I see dark shadows walking back and forth, making my backlight sensor flip on and off. Also, about a month ago, something shook my door so hard it shook my entire hallway." Speaking of hallways, this next person was attacked on camera by what appears to be some invisible force in the hallway. Take a look. Yeah, damn right, turn around and go back where you came. Whoever this guy was visiting, whatever plans he had at the end of that hallway, they were crossed off his list as soon as he hit the ground. What in the hell happened there? This CCTV security camera footage was taken in what looks to be the hallway of some sort of facility, like a doctor's office. Could also be an apartment, but it's hard to tell. You'll notice that before the guy even falls down and gets dragged, this black shadowy shape starts to form, and once it drags the guy a few feet down the hall, it fades back away, releasing the man who rightly gets up and books it back down the hall. This next one has to be one of my favorite spooky internet videos. Some have compared this creepy woman to a witch, others have said it may be a djinn. Whatever she is though, she's downright creepy, and this just makes for a very unsettling watch. The video was apparently shot in Saudi Arabia. It shows a man driving on a narrow, empty road. As he's driving, we can clearly spot this strange, hunched figure in the distance. The figure moves in this really unnatural way, hobbling around. It's also hard to make out where its head is because it's all hunched. It just looks completely wrong. And the man filming thinks so too, because you can clearly hear how terrified he is. He sounds completely panicked, even on the verge of tears. Honestly, his reaction is kind of what makes the video. At one point he tries to reverse away from the figure, but the road is so narrow and winding that he can't move very quickly, and the witch-like figure just keeps gaining on him, waddling towards the car with that unsettling gait, getting closer and closer, but never deciding to get right up close. It's like she's just toying with him. Unless you've been hiding under a rock for the past couple years, which based on some of the videos on this list, I can understand why you would, you've probably heard of the Serbian dancing lady craze. People coming across lone women dancing in the street late at night for seemingly no reason. Take a look at this. Sorry, not sorry. That one gets you? Look, it's spooky season now. You gotta be ready for this sort of thing. Gotta be on your toes. All right, well, I don't think it gets any more classically demonic looking than this image here. The photo shows a large winged figure. It was taken in Phoenix, Arizona by a man named Richard Christensen in 2017. He wasn't sure what he captured, and neither was anyone else. Some people think it looks like a Mothman, others think it might look like an angel, or, of course, the opposite. But, like everything on this list, what do you think? Let us know down below. All right, let's kick off this lizard party with John Kerry. John Kerry is a US politician. He's a Democrat. It's about all I know or care about. I don't pay attention to politics, all right? I'm too busy covering the important issues. Guys, ghosts, Mothman, today it's lizard people. I'm basically a real-life Fox Mulder, and I'm pretty good at what I do. But you know what's not awesome? The cabal of lizard people trying to infiltrate our entire society. In this video from back in 2013, we see Kerry speaking with Congress, but try to see if you can spot something strange going on. Yeah, he keeps licking his lips. He does it over and over again. Now, maybe he had some ice cream residue on his lip, or his tongue was itchy, and he was like itching his tongue by doing that or something. Maybe he was having a hard time keeping his true lizard form at bay, though. Look at how fast his tongue moves, too. It's not a sultry lip lick. You wouldn't be looking at someone across the club and like lick your lips like this. Nor should you do that ever, probably. But this is like a fast, like, I have fly to catch kind of tongue flick, so I don't know. Is he a lizard man? Obviously, yes. Number 9, Justin Bieber. Politicians and famous people seem to be the main culprits when it comes to these elusive, shape-shifting lizards. Makes sense. I mean, like, what better way to overturn society than by seeping your way into politics and pop culture, the circles that hold the most influence over society. Not the case for me, though. I don't pay attention to music. I'm too busy uncovering the real stuff. Cryptids. Ghosts. You know the drill. I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again. In this video, we watch as Justin Bieber's eyes seem to act up. Like, just take a look. So his eyes look normal, then he blinks, then when he opens his eyes back up, it looks like they're partially covered. A bit like certain lizard species who have the semi-translucent caps that cover their eyes, right? And it looks like Believer just dropped the ball here. His lizard eyes loose. They just let loose momentarily, and he thought nobody would notice, but we did. And now the secret is out. Back to your dank, dark underground dwelling, Beaver. Next on the list is Nicki Minaj, another pop singer with secret ties to the land of the lizards. Now this happens very fast, so pay close attention. Put your portable telephone down, full screen me, lean in, and feast your eyes on this weirdness. Seems like Nicki Minaj was in the middle of an interview when suddenly her circular, human-looking pupil transforms into a vertical slit, just for a brief moment. Pretty freaky stuff. If I'd been doing this interview and I saw that happen, I'd have a couple follow-up questions. I'd play it smart, though. I wouldn't want the lizards getting a whiff of how onto them I really am. Like, I wouldn't come right out and ask if she's a lizard person, but like, hey, are your eyes okay? Looks like they morphed. But I definitely don't think you're a lizard person at all, though. I think that would be a smooth way of kind of broaching that subject and getting one step closer to the truth. Yeah, don't you? Anyway, it looks like Anaconda might be more of a personal song to her than we initially thought. Number 7, we have a reptilian standing behind a man being interviewed. This interview was taken at a sporting event of some kind. I have a feeling it's a baseball match, but I'm not sure. Do I watch sports? What do you think? Once again, guys, my expertise is in uncovering the truth within the world of the strange and bizarre. I don't have time to watch people throw, kick, punt, hit balls into baskets. So this man is being interviewed about something I don't care about when suddenly we catch a glimpse of the man standing behind him. Man may be a bit of a stretch here. Lizard man? Far more likely. Just look at his eye. I've never seen a pupil like that in my entire life. It looks like it almost has a bit of a diamond kind of shape to it. Doesn't seem like a trick of the light or a glitch in the footage, as this isn't one of those cases like with Nicki Minaj or Justin Bieber where it just happens briefly. It just seems like this is the way this man's eye is. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. Can I trust someone with eyes, the eyes of a lizard? I don't think so. Next on the list, we have an alien security guard. All right, we're back to the world of politics now. This footage was taken at some kind of political event. Suffice to say, there were some high-ups in the audience. Now we see a bunch of average-looking dudes and one lady seated in the foreground. At first, you'd probably look at this image and think nothing of it, but take a look at the weirdo in the background. Whatever this thing is, it does not look human. And no, it's not just that he's bald. Nothing wrong with being bald, all right? I think it's just his lack of ears that gives me a bit of the willies. Look at him, it looks like he just has a hole where his ears should be. Now, if he suffered some kind of horrific incident or something like that, I'm very sorry. And you are not a reptile, sir. But I don't know, he looks very snake-like to me. Actually, this dude, he's a dead ringer for Voldemort from the hit British book and film series Harry Potter. Don't know if you've ever checked it out. It's kind of uncanny though, actually. Number 5, the skin suit. In this clip shared on TikTok by aliens_and_cryptids, we see a man in an interview, possibly a news reporter, although I'm not 100% certain. Seems to be a normal, everyday dude, but suddenly something weird happens to his face. Yeah, what the heck happened there? It's not even just his eyes that bug out and reveal some reptilian version underneath. His face also seems to contort a bit, almost like rubber. Is this actually a lizard person wearing a skin suit that malfunctioned? Well, it certainly looks like it to me, and I may not know my sports or music or politics, but I do know about my aliens, my ghosts and ghouls, and my lizard people. Not my lizard, I'm not a lizard person myself, but this guy is very likely a lizard in disguise. There's just no denying it, really. Number 4, Sharkman. Now, I've talked a lot about lizard people on this list so far. In fact, that's been every point up until now. So what about the creatures that have come from deep within the darkest depths of the ocean to seep their way into the inner workings of our societal structure, the fish people? In this clip, we see Barack Obama greeting Lee Rosenberg. Who is Lee Rosenberg, you ask? He's a shark man. Looking closely at this clip, you can see that when Rosenberg smiles, his true shark form slightly rises to the surface, displaying a set of razor-sharp shark chompers. I can almost hear the unnerving soundtrack to Jaws playing in my head as Obama walks to the podium to greet this underwater fiend. The question is Barack truly chums with what he knows to be a shark man, or is he just chum? Next on the list, we have a clip from Dr. Phil. Now, I'm not saying that Dr. Phil is a reptilian. I mean, he could be, but there's no evidence of that. So it's the guest I'm putting in the hot seat here. So just take a look at this woman's eyes. Do these look like your standard circular pupils to you? No, looks like we have the classic vertical slits going on here. Very unsettling stuff. I think Dr. Phil needs to switch gears and talk about the stuff that really matters. You know, he should be having people suspected of being reptilians on his show all the time from now on and just ask them the important questions. Let me get this straight. You tell me you're not a reptilian? I think you need to zip your lip. It'd be so fun to watch. I want that show on TV. Next up, we have a reporter shape-shifting on live TV. Now, a lot of this list has been eye stuff, so let's talk about another big telltale sign that someone is a shapeshifter. Their skin, the fake disguise they're wearing to conceal their disgusting, monstrous lizard form underneath. This is Michael Brownlee, a reporter who seems to morph on live TV a little too often. We watch as his face begins to distort, almost like a scaly type of pattern begins to form on his face. In one clip, he even seems to move out of frame, and almost like he's in a slight panic, seemingly feeling his human disguise begin to slip away. If I were a reptilian, which I'm definitely not, once again, I would have this guy come back down to the underground lizard society below and just practice staying in his human form a bit better. Like, stop transforming on live television, Mike. Ruining it for all of us. Just hold it together, bud. And finally, we have the Antiques Roadshow Reptilian. I've never watched Antiques Roadshow. My grandparents used to watch it. I heard it's a good show to fall asleep to. There just aren't enough demons and aliens in it for me, you know? Oh, but wait. Apparently there was in this episode. In this video, originally uploaded by follower of Yahushua, she spotted an odd-looking man in the background of one shot. He clearly has some very strange eyes and is just staring almost directly into the camera. He does seem to be very intrigued by whatever antique they're looking at, though. He's like, kind of like, what's that? Maybe this reptilian just wanted to like do some antique shopping that day, find a set of old spoons or something, or this lizard man was on a mission to find an important relic, something they could use to bring about the downfall of the human race.
Coming in at number 9 are the clowns of Springfield. Not the Simpsons Springfield, but after watching the footage, I really wished it was in cartoon land and not real life. So back at the start of October in 2014, multiple home security cameras captured various sinister clown sightings. And it wasn't even, like they were walking by and the camera saw it. Like, no, these clowns would straight up come to the house's porch and stare into the camera like this. Like, why always a creepy head tilt? It's really weird. Now, one clown stared at the camera from outside the gate for a while before coming in. Another one holding balloons came into someone's porch and stared at their camera, then picked up a decorative pumpkin and started punching it for the camera before tearing it apart and throwing it on the ground. Another one just stood in front of the camera looking creepy as hell and then lighting his face on and off, and I can't tell if it's the mask he's wearing or it's a torch he's using under his shirt. I really don't know. He then tells the camera not to tell anyone by doing this before leaving and lighting his face up one last time outside the gate. I mean, if it was part of some Halloween prank, then I totally get it, but this was 3.5 weeks before Halloween, so was it really just a prank? Or 2014, was that when the whole clown craze was a thing? Surely not. Surely it wasn't that long ago. Filling at number 7 slot is TV Santa Claus. Now honestly, there's so many things I say on this channel that I'm like, wow, never thought I'd see the day I'd be saying that, and TV Santa Claus is one of them. Now on the night of August 22nd, 2018, several CCTV cameras recorded a mysterious unknown figure dubbed TV Santa Claus leaving vintage TV box sets on people's porches in Grey Oaks, Virginia. Which, I mean, isn't illegal, it's just weird. They were never caught though and did the same thing this year as well. Now the footage shows a person wearing a blue jumpsuit, wearing a TV as a head and just depositing the TV sets on the porches. This year they hit 50 homes in Henrico County and police quickly collected all the sets and told residents to report it straight away if it happens to them as well. I mean, it could be a harmless prank, could be part of a bigger, more dastardly scheme, who really knows? I certainly don't. TV Santa Claus, you're not doing anything illegal, but it's weird. Stop it. Now at number 6 is The Dazed Woman. Now this was posted by YouTuber Rainy Schuler back in 2013, and in it you can see a woman walking out of an opening in the trees in the darkness. It's raining this night, it's cold, and she looks like she has no idea what she's doing, almost like she's unaware she's even there. She stops at one point, looks into the trees, and walks into them for a minute, and then re-emerges clutching her chest. She then stands for a few minutes, walks a bit here and there for 10 minutes, and that's literally it. Mind you, this house is located in the mountains, so there's no neighbors close by, there are no roads nearby either, so the real question here is, baby, what is you doing? At number 4 is The Laughing Woman. Now this one truly perplexed me because I just don't get it, I just don't know what's going on. Now, this elevator camera footage was released in Feb of 2015, but it was actually taken in 2006, which kind of explains the slightly dated clothing. Can you imagine? I'm calling 2006 dated. That was only 13 years ago, damn it! Like, what's going on? Now either way, in the video there's this woman standing at the back of this full elevator and she just bursts out into laughter. And not even like a small giggle when you remember something funny, like no, she's hysterically laughing. Even hitting the people around her like, ha ha ha. Like, okay, who are you? People get off and new ones come on and she's still laughing, and weirdly enough, no one around her ever asks what the hell she's laughing at. They just kind of let it happen near them. But the weirdest part is when she's alone in the elevator and she laughs even more hysterically and literally starts rolling off the walls. She sort of puts herself back together when other people enter the elevator, but that doesn't stop her from continuing to laugh. Now who is she? No idea. Why is she laughing? No clue. Not a damn clue. Filling our number 3 slot is The Licker. This one is just so effing weird, I don't even know what to say about it. So in January of this year, a man was caught on a family surveillance system licking their doorbell for 3 hours straight. Roberto Daniel Arroyo made his way to the house, and thankfully the parents weren't home, but the children were. The couple was soon alerted about a movement outside their door, and then of course comes the sensual licking footage. He then peed in the front yard, so that was, you know, like a great nice cherry on top. Like, I don't know what level of drugs this man was on to do this, but I need me some of those. Like, I'll take whatever he's having. Roberto was found very quickly because he kept looking right into the bloody camera and then was charged with prowling and theft. I don't know what he stole really, other than the house's innocence and dignity, but sure. We'll leave it at that. Now at number 2 is the porch mystery. So I don't actually truly know what's going on in this one, so just bear with me. From the footage you see someone leaving right after putting a blurry object onto the ground on someone's porch. You then hear them driving away and their dog barking, but that's not even the focal point of the video. Let's just disregard that. Shouldn't even have to mention it. Why am I still talking? Now that thing, whatever it is that they leave on the porch, starts moving despite being inanimate. It then grows and starts floating up as a black entity and just hovering there, and I have no clue what it is at all. Like, is it a floating black phantom? Is it an orb? A spirit? Like, did this person just leave a bloody spirit on someone's porch? Like, how rude is that? How rude is that?